In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Loft tool. A Loft is a special tool that allows you to create a solid that is controlled by two or more shapes that we kind of merge them together and blend them together in this strange way. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to start a new part, and we are going to start on the top plane with a sketch. And actually, before we hit sketch, I'm going to go ahead and change my units and make sure they're in IPS, which is for inches. So again, select the top plane and go to sketch. I'm going to start with a circle that I dimension to be a 6-inch circle. And I'm going to exit that sketch. I'm going to go back to my isometric view and zoom out a little bit. Now for this, you also need to create planes because we want to create shapes. Usually the way we use it is we create shapes that are on parallel planes. Right now, we don't have any parallel planes. We have the top facing one direction, the front facing another, and the right facing another. So I am going to select the top plane. Under Features, I'm going to click Reference Geometry and Plane. And what it does is it automatically picks the top plane to be parallel to, or a distance from, which is really a cool thing. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 6 inches in here, so my plane is now 6 inches above it. I'm going to go ahead and accept that. On plane 1, with plane 1 selected, I'm going to hit sketch and sketch. Now to keep things in the center, I'm going to quick switch over to a center rectangle, zoom out a little bit. I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to make this actually 9 by 9 using some of the shortcuts I have set. And that's my square. And then I am going to actually go ahead and pick a third one, and I'm going to have plane 1 highlighted, Features, Reference Geometry, Plane. And now it's going up 6 inches. I'm actually going to change this to be 9 inches. And accept that. That's plane 2. Plane 2 highlighted. I'm going to hit sketch, start a sketch. I'm going to put a circle here. You'll notice I'm keeping everything centered. And I'm going to make this a 3-inch diameter circle. Exit my sketch. And again, I'll go back to the isometric view so everybody can see it. And I am going to go ahead and do this one more time, as are you. So again, with plane 2 highlighted, Features, Reference Geometry, Plane. This one's going to be 3 inches up, much closer. And I am going to then start a sketch on that surface. We're going to again do a circle. This time I'm going to do a 5-inch circle. And I'm going to click Exit Sketch. Now, this is what I've ended up with, is these 4 profiles on different parallel planes. I made up some sizes. You should follow along for the purpose of this, just so it's easy. I'm going to go to Features, and I'm going to hit Lofted, Boss, and Base. So right now, it just has profiles. So what I can do is I can either start from the bottom and go up, or the top and go down. Either way, you should end up with the same result. So I'm going to leave sketch 4 there. I'm going to pick then sketch 3. Now this line controls how it goes. So if I don't want it to twist, I'll put it more straight down. I'm going to then pick sketch number 2. And I'm going to then pick sketch number 1. And what I get is it kind of follows that line. You can see that line is kind of follows from edge to corner. And I get this nice vase-like shape. And so that's what I end up getting. And you can see that since I used a square in the middle of this, I get this transition from round to square, back to round, and then I get this nice little flare out. Because of how I'm going in and out and in and out, it kind of follows that and attempts to make it smooth. Now, if I was actually going to make this a vase, I'm going to show you this really quick tool that really is helpful. And it's this tool right here called Shell. If I click Shell, I'm going to set the thickness to be 0.25, which is my wall thickness. And then I'm going to click this top surface right here, and I'm going to accept it. And you don't have to do this part, but just so you can see what it does, I'm going to turn on my section view and have it cut it in half, but you can see that it basically hollowed out that whole vase, leaving a 1/4-inch wall everywhere. So that's how the shell tool works. But right now, if I go and I go ahead and go Control-3 to see this, now my planes are all showing, so I can just right-click and hide them real quick. They're still there, they still can be used, they still could be drawn on, but now I don't see them. This is the first screenshot I'd like for you to take and paste onto your worksheet. I'm going to go ahead, and again, you can save this or you cannot. I'm going to go ahead and not. I'm going to click the house button here to start a new part, as are you. And we're going to mess with something a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, again, I'm going to start on the top plane and start a sketch. I'm going to stick with this center rectangle, and I am going to, oh man, I did not change my units yet again. So back to IPS, back to top plane, back to sketch, back to my center rectangle. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just go ahead and do a 2-inch by 2-inch square. Okay, and I am going to go ahead and exit my sketch. Now this time I'm only going to do 3 profiles. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I am going to go ahead and pick my top plane. I am going to go features and reference geometry plane. I am going to set the distance this time to, I'm going to set it to 4 inches. And on plane 1, I'm again going to go to sketch, sketch. And this is a cool little tool that you can use. I'm going to go ahead and pick, holding shift, I'm going to pick all of the lines from the previous sketch, and I'm going to click convert entities. Now I will need to actually click both of these 2 lines right here and set them to be for construction. But that just basically copied the sketch from below up onto this plane. So I've got the same plane right here. Now, what I want to do then is I want to do the same process one more time. So plane 1, features, reference geometry, plane, a new one 4 inches up, perfect. And then I am going to start a sketch on plane 2. Now your other way to do this is to do center rectangle and click the origin again and click the endpoint again, which will draw one over top that is already fully defined, as you can see down here. And then I'm going to exit my sketch. And as you can see, I've got 3 of these. Now, if I was going to do what I did before and kind of have just a single line go straight up, I'm just going to get a rectangular solid. And I could have done that in a much easier way with a single sketch. But this time when I do lofted boss base and I pick sketch 4, you'll notice it selects this point for me. I am going to actually pick the point next to it. Oh, it picks that straight down. So I'm going to move this, and it wants to move it to the corner, and you'll see it starts to twist. I'm going to actually move it all the way. Actually, no, I do have to move it just. It depends on which way you want it to twist. So I'm going to move it to All right, so for whatever reason, it kicked that out. So let's try again. So we'll go here and here. And then to go down to the next one, that's where I'm going to pick the one opposite where I started, so it continues to twist, and it goes there. So by using those curves, I can actually twist my piece to make there's actually in SolidWorks no other way to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and accept it. And this is my twisted piece here. So this is kind of like, on some stair railings and stuff like that, you can see this. But I'm going to go ahead and show this. I'm going to hide my two planes. And this is um, is the screenshot you should take for your second piece. Now, if you chose to go twist the other direction, that is just fine. But again, I stacked the same size square 3 times and did that twist so I could get, you can see, I start here, I end 180 degrees away. Now I could keep adding those and keep moving over by one, that's fine. I could also do this with polygon shapes to make cool twist looks. You can really mess around with this to see how everything can be put together. But Loft is a really powerful tool. And if you're wondering, could I do both twists and a change of shape? Yes. Could I do both twists and a change of size? Maybe I could have made the middle square bigger or smaller. Absolutely, you can. I just wanted to show kind of the two main ways that we use Loft, which is changing from shape to shape vertically or twisting. So there you go. Those are the two main ways we use it. And again, please put your example of each on your sheet when you turn it in.